So, tell me a little bit about your familiarity, or maybe you want to play something. What is it that you're familiar with and whatnot?
I know hot cross. Well, that's on a recorder.
Uh-huh.
I've been on Duolingo. What did I say? Mary had a little lamb.
Mm-hmm.
Another C.
Mm-hmm. So,
A-B.
yes, that's perfect. Okay. So, how long have you been on Duolingo?
For piano, like a week.
A week? Okay. Let me put on a timer just before I forget. How long we're taking. So, let's see. Okay. I'll put the timer for like an hour. We'll take like maybe like a 5-minute break or something. So, let's see. So you've been piano-wise, like Duolingo-wise, you've been there for a week. Piano-wise, have you touched that keyboard for more than a week, or is it just something that you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna get into it with the lessons?
Yeah, I'm just gonna get into it with the lessons.
Okay.
Cause I used my mom's laptop and it turned on, but there's no sound coming out because I had to. It said I had to download this thing called Ableton. And then there's a CD for that too. It said install this disc first, but I think it's supposed to be on a laptop to install it.
Yeah, I don't think you should have to get Ableton, but we'll figure it out later. Anyway, okay, no worries. So you just like learned the notes like how long ago? A week ago. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. All right, so let's see. You got the concept well, right? This is C, right? Anytime you see these two groups, right? And actually, I should probably give you something to write notes with, right? So stuff you're gonna refer back to. What did I bring up for next time? No, you're good. Let's see what I can give you. God, I barely use paper myself. So, give me 1 moment. I'll get you like something to write down.
Okay.
So, I'm gonna say something verbally, right? And then I just want you to visualize it, how I'm gonna do it. You're gonna write it down, and then you're gonna practice it yourself, right? So,
Pencil right here.
So, if you want another pencil, So, let's see. Some basic things, right, to remember the notes on the keys, right? We're not gonna get into like, cause you and Mary had a little lamb, but did Duolingo have like sheet music to teach you that? Like, when I was showing you?
Yeah, it would have like this, and then we'll go across, scanning it, and then C, I think is the lowest. Then D is like in between, it has like a line, and then E is right on the bottom line.
Okay. So okay, give you some like sheet music, and it gave it with this clef. With this clef, or were you observing what type of clef it was, or no? Okay, don't worry about it. That's fine. I'm gonna assume it probably gave you treble clef just because that's the easiest to learn. But right, just some basic things I want you to know, right, is learning what's in front of you, right? Not necessarily learning how to read this, right? You're not gonna read music like this yet unless you know what's in front of you.
Yeah.
Right? Now you do kind of know what's in front of you. You got like C, B, D all up in those keys, right? So, just like you said, this is C, but this is also C, and this is also C, and this is also C, this is also C, right? Because if you all play at the same time, they all sound identical. Just different ranges, right? What is a range, right? This is a low octave. This is also another octave, but what I'm trying to to say is as you go to the right, it gets higher. These are high octaves. These are
low.
Exactly. So when you're playing the piano, right, some easy ways to remember what is C. Always. You got these two groups. You see how this is in 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, so forth, right? Every note next to the bottom 2 will be C. So find me C on the higher octaves. Play them loud and confident. Don't even ask me. Just find them and do them. Just find them and do them.
I was going to say, how you do 3 at a time, but I think that's too wide.
Perfect. All right, awesome. So you found them. All right. So that's it, right? The best way to memorize where is C, it's always gonna be next to these two, right? We'll eventually write down the notes, right? So, but the first thing we're gonna learn is number 1, how to play a scale, right? The most basic scale, right? It doesn't use any of the black keys. Once you start using the black keys, it gets a little more complicated, right? Not always, but just a little bit, right? But I'm gonna get you in touch with what is the basic movement of a scale? What does that mean, right? There's multiple scales. This is the basic one I'm gonna teach you first. There's also D. This is starting to use the black key. And then there's E, and I don't know if I remember it too well, but. Right? What am I trying to say with basic movement of a scale? Almost all 12 major scales have the same movement. What do I mean? You use the first 3 fingers, 1, 2, 3, and then you bring your thumb under. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? For the most part, right? There is only one scale that does it differently, but we're not gonna worry about that right now. So, yeah, what did I say about these 2 keys? Where is the letter C? There you go, exactly. So that's the first thing I want you to write down, right? You can draw out those 2 keys, right? And make sure they're black, and you remember, okay, next to those 2 black keys, it'll always be letter C. Write down that. Perfect. You can draw like a little arrow or something. Okay. Now, the basic thing about the piano, right, is it's alphabetical, right? Now, when I show you the C major scale, you're going to be like, well, that's not starting on the letter A, it's starting on the letter C. Exactly. But that's not what really matters, right? What matters, right, is that it's alphabetical and it always repeats within a range. What are the alphabet letters that are used? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We don't go to H, I, J, K, nothing else, right? Just up to G, right? So I'm gonna play this and it's not gonna sound like as beautiful as a major, but A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. And something you notice, right? What letter did I always end up repeating at the end of the scale? Exactly. Same thing with C. Right? A, right? So even when I'm here at C, right? C, D, E, F, G, A. What's the next letter?
C.
Actually, should have said that question. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was like the dumbest question ever. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm here at C, right? C, D, E, F, G,
A, B.
A, B,
C.
C. Exactly. So what am I trying to say? Is that every time we end on G, do we go to H? Yeah. No.
Wait, no, we just stop on G.
We from G, where do we go? Because we don't go back to H, so we need to start over on the cycle of. I said
F.
F was right before it, right? So this is always going to go up alphabetically, right? I'm here starting at A, B, C, D, E, F, G. What do I go with this one? A, exactly. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. There you go. Perfect. And so forth, right? So what am I trying to make with the point with all this, right? Is after the letter G, you will not go to H, I, J, K. You'll never get to the letter Z. I'll tell you that much, right? You will always just repeat on A, right? So that's just the cycle. So that's what I want you to write down next, right? Is the what are the notes that you're going to use? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's it. That's all the notes you're ever going to use, right? And then variations of that, you'll eventually see like A sharp, B flat, stuff like that. But you'll never see anything else. So those are the notes you are going to use, right? So when I teach you the C major scale, of course we're not starting with the letter A, right? But I'm gonna ask you the same question before and see if you can answer it this time, right? C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, sorry, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, exactly. So, perfect. Let's see. Same thing, right? Same thing I want to teach you, right? Is you need to get in practice, right? And you'll do it once I teach you the scale, and you'll do it by yourself, right? As you practice, right? You need to get in practice not with just reading up, but remembering how to read down, right? We don't usually go Z, Y, X, W, X. I actually don't even know if I'm doing it right, but we don't usually do that. But mind you, you have a very small alphabet to work with, right? So you're good, right? You're gonna be fine. So what you're gonna do, right? Or something I want you to practice doing, right? I'll talk about it right now, but we're not gonna do it right now, right? Is learning how to do this. C, B, A, G, F, G, sorry, E, B, C, right? So once you get familiar with going up, you'll be very familiar with going down, right? But just like every two groups of these, right? It's the letter C. I want you to remember what are the ones next to these three, right? The ones next to this three, this is F, exactly. And look at this. If this is C, what note is this?
B.
B, so that's the next thing I want you to write down, right? Right, your three groups of your black notes, right? And then which ones are right next to it? Mm-hmm. There you go. There you go. Perfect. Marvelous. Right. And very simple. If this is C, what letter is that?
D.
And the other one? E. There you go. Perfect. Marvelous. Okay. So that's kind of the main point we're trying to make with this, right? It goes alphabetical. It's never gonna go backwards as you're going this way, right? It's kind of like the same way we read books and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, what is the basic form that I want to teach you about notes, right? Hold up. I was gonna print something out. Let me see if I can find something here.
Okay, that was hot cross buns.
I remember that.
I remember hot cross buns.
Alright. I will be right back. Let me get that paper.
Okay.
This is a Casio. So, what I do want you to write here is just the following letters, right? Grab a line and you write C, D, E, F, just get up to letter B. And then C, sorry. One more C.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I didn't say that. Okay. So, what is the basic form to learning a scale? For the first part, I want to first teach you how to use your right hand, not your left hand yet, right? The right hand, to me, comes the easiest. I've read treble clef my whole life. Then I got into college and I had to learn this, right? But bass clef, yes, it's read a little bit differently, but that's not the focus. Right now, we're not focusing on reading these notes, but rather, how do we see it on the piano, right? So, for the treble clef, right, something I want you to remember, right, is the treble clef will always belong to your right hand. The bass clef will always belong to? Exactly. Treble clef? Exactly. This is high octaves. These are?
Low octaves.
Right? So, treble, bass, right, left, high, low. Exactly. Those are all like synonyms. Whenever you think of your right hand, you think high,
Treble, high, clef.
right. Right. Yes, exactly. That's fine. And then left,
bass, low.
exactly. Right. So that's something I want you to do. I want you to create a little section and put like a little division. Right. Actually, best way to do it right now, put a little line right here. And I want you to write the same exact thing on this side.
You know, I have a picture still
Hmm?
of like when you were teaching us in musical minds on that blue clear glass board. I still have a picture of that.
Really? Oh, that's nice. Yeah, it was nice. I wish we could have done the whole thing we used to do in class, for my music class at least. But what is it? Okay. So this is the right side of the page, this is the left side, right? What I want you to do, right? I hate to do this to you, but maybe erase this one and put it up here, because I'm gonna have you distinguish the sides, and we'll see it right now. Just work on that for a moment, and then we'll move forward. Okay, perfect. So what I want you to write here is left, and then right, and then low, and then high, and then
bass.
Treble. Exactly. I'm gonna find some worksheets. Practice on something. Let me know. Okay. Drawing. I'll work on that later. Okay. So, I'm gonna do it for now, right? And then later I'm gonna give you like a worksheet of how to practice writing the treble and bass clef. And likely because you're playing the piano, you're not gonna really draw the treble and bass clef. You're gonna have printed paper that has it. But I still want you to learn it because that's important. So, for treble clef, right? This is what a treble clef looks like. And bass looks like this. Sometimes you'll really see it with like a dot in the middle, or right there at the beginning. Right? So anytime you see this treble clef, you're gonna associate it with what?
Right, high.
Exactly. Every time you see bass clef, you're gonna associate it with what?
Left, low.
Exactly. So, we're gonna get on that point. So the first part we're gonna learn is the right hand, right? How are we gonna do the C major scale, right? So almost every scale, right? Now this is the C major scale. Actually, I want you to write that at the top, C major scale. Awesome, right? We are gonna learn, right, the basic structure of a scale. We're gonna apply this to C and a bunch of other ones, right? You're gonna start with the 3 fingers, right? And something I want you to do right now is put your hands like this, right? And I want you to know that this is number 1. This is your finger number 1, right? This is 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exactly. But with his hand, when you're playing the piano, everything's a reflection. Everything is a mirror reflection.
Yeah.
Exactly. So if this is 1, this is what?
1, 1.
Okay, and this is
2,
and then
3,
and then
4,
and then
5.
okay, and then let's go backwards. This is
5,
okay.
4,
3
3,
okay.
2, 1.
Perfect. You did it perfectly, right? So you can imagine what we're going to start doing on this paper, right? We're going to do a lot of reflections, right? So synonyms, antonyms, right? So with your right hand, I want you to find the letter C up in that range. Exactly. So we're going to start with the number 1, right? So I want you to watch me first, and then you're gonna do it yourself, okay? So I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, and then I'm gonna bring my thumb under, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And that's all I want you to practice. How to go up, right? I'm gonna do it one more time. 1, 2, 3. Then I'm gonna bring this under. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when you play the piano, I understand it's like, first time you're like learning how to do it right, but don't get like don't get nervous about it, right? Just let it flow, and you're gonna make a mistake, and that's fine, because I make the mistakes too. Like literally before you came, I started practicing, I was like, oh my god, that's embarrassing, right? So but that's fine, okay? That's okay. Yeah. Just let your hand flow, right? 1, 2, 3, and notice that I'm not going, oh my god, I'm gonna break my hand. No, I'm going 1, 2. Look how I lift my hand. You see that? I lift it so that it's easy for this to fall, and then I continue. So I ask you to do the same. Right, you're gonna start on letter C. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 4, 5. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exactly. Perfect. You did perfectly. Though I want you to have a little more confidence when you play. Right? I understand it was your first time doing it, but don't even be afraid about it. Like, and also definitely don't come to the edge, because if you get into the habit of doing that, your hands are gonna slip, right? So get in the middle of that note, exactly, and have confidence. Play hard. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, perfect. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect, exactly. So you did it. So I want you to write that down beneath each letter, right? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Okay. So let's do it one more time, and let's try to do it at the same time, right? I want you to try and follow my tempo. I'm gonna do it very slow, okay? But look at my hands, and you'll know what beat I'm going on, okay? 1. Actually, I'm gonna just count it off, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Perfect. Let's do it one more time. Sorry about that. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Let's do it again. Right? 1. Let's count off first, and then we'll do. How about you count off? You count off, all right? And I'll follow your tempo. All right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Now, good habit to learn at this beginning stage. When you are playing the scale, don't leave your hands down. Don't leave your fingers down.
That's what I was doing.
Yeah. So, because, right, you'll hear it.
And it's echoing the other one.
Exactly, right? So now that you hear all the other ones, it doesn't sound right? So, when you do it, again, be very light on your hands. Very light on your hands. Get into the habit of, okay? So let's start on C. Let's try to start on the lower C. Yeah, right there. Perfect. Okay. So, that is great. Like right now, what you're doing, right, kind of like bouncing off. That's called staccato, right? And I don't want you to get into the habit of that when you're doing a scale, right? It doesn't. It's not a problem for you to keep your hand down. Just the moment you gotta make sure that you're switching out. And when you play the piano, get into this habit, right? Get into this. Your hand is a crab. Don't go like this, right? You keep it down like this, you limit your range. When you go like this, because mind you, if I play the piano like this, see how hard it is for me to sneak my thumb under there? But when I have it like this, right, it's much easier for me to move around, right? So 2 habits, right? Keep your hands like this, right? And then whenever you go to the next note, make sure you're not staying on the last one. So let's try that, okay? Let me see.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Perfect. All right, let's do it again.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Perfect. Okay. One more time.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Marvelous. Okay. And then let's do it together 2 more times, and then we'll move on. You count it off.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Count it off.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Perfect. Okay, marvelous. So that's how you got your scale, right? You got everything now. You got right, you got the high, you got the treble clef, you know what it looks like, you know the notes, and you know the order in which it goes into, right? So same thing applies with the left. Actually, before we even go to the left side, we're going to teach you how to go down with the right hand, right? So later, maybe at the end of this class, or maybe in the next class, right? Instead of numbers, I'm going to make you start doing letters, right? I might do it next class because you're gonna study how to even identify the letters, right? Yeah. And associate them. And that was gonna be a little trickier because you maybe want to count off the notes instead of saying the letters.
Yeah. Exactly. And when I first learned music, I was in I think 2nd grade, and we learned by numbers. Like I want on the recorder it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it had 10, 20, all that. It was like all numbers.
Right. Yeah. On the recorder, it's actually a professional instrument, and they have different types. But yeah, when you're very young, they teach you numbers instead of like letters. You know. So, with the piano, you're gonna learn everything, right? So, how do we go about this, right? If this is the letter C, what letter is this?
C.
C, exactly, right? And if we started with the order of first 3 and then 5. When we're going down, what order are we going to go from?
5 and 3.
Exactly. So I'm going to come down from here and I'm going to go. And look at this. I'm crossing my hand. Right? So I want you to do the same. Right? So you can start from C.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
Right. So a big thing, this is going to help you in future lessons and future things, or future scales. Always feel an emphasis on these 2 fingers. They're going to help you the most, right? So anytime, because eventually I'm going to teach you how to go, and I'm going to teach you how to go, and the only reason I can do it so quickly is because I feel weight on these 2 fingers, right? There's going to be a lot of weight between these 2 fingers. You got to feel comfortable. That's what I'm telling you. Don't play light, play strong, play confident, right? Because, how do I put it? And you're going to practice this on your own, right? When you play this scale, you should feel strength in doing the following. Because I told you how I lift my hand up, right? I feel strength in dropping this next part, right? So that's something I actually want to practice doing right now. Instead of going down, let's practice that, right? I want you to do the following, right? You are going to play normal here, then I want you to play hard on the 3rd, and then on the 1st one, and not on the last one. Not on the last one. Not your. Even though it's letter C, but no, because I want you to feel emphasis on these 2 fingers, right? So I'm gonna do it one more time, and then you're gonna do it with me, okay?
Okay. 1.
right? You're not gonna go down, but you understand what I was saying, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. And actually, what I want you to do instead, do not play hard on the first note. Just when you're crossing. Okay? So let's start that like that, and I want you to get your thumb, and we're gonna start, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's fine. All right, well, we got it. All right, it's gonna go do 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, we're gonna do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Perfect. One more time. Perfect. So now you feel that weight when you're crossing, right? You can have confidence that it's not, oh my God, is it 4? No. You know because you feel it and you play strong. Right? Perfect. You see, you're getting, like, it flows. You understand? I mean, once you feel the weight there, you know where your hand's going to go. Your hand or in your nose, right? So now we're going to practice how to go down, right? So again, we started with 3, 5. Now we're going to go from 5.
3.
Exactly. So let's start with the pinky on letter C, and we're going to go there. 1. Start from the top again. Yeah, exactly. That's totally fine, right? But that's the practice of feeling the weight, right? And it's good that you play confident, even if you make the mistakes, right? Because you're seeing it now, right? Instead of later, right? So we're going to start from the top again, right?
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 2.
You know what's causing that issue as well, right? Is, again, I told you about staccato. You're going. You can't bounce your hand. Right? Your hand needs to stay there, but you just need to learn how to let go, right?
Like drop, lift, drop.
That's actually something I want you to do right now. Put your hand like this on the C. Thumb on C. There you go. I want you to have your hand like this, and we're not going to do a scale. All I want you to do is the following. Just copy where I'm at. Emphasis, I want you to focus on how you hear each individual note, because if I wasn't playing each individual note, it would sound like this. You hear all the other ones?
Yeah.
Exactly. So, and I also don't want you to go like this. No. Keep it there. It doesn't mean this can't move. This can move, yes, and it will. All right, naturally, right? Right? You see what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Then I want you to do it yourself. Go ahead. Perfect. That's fine. Go ahead. Okay, keep going. Just keep going. Perfect. So that's a great way to practice whether you're going to move your hand up or down. Just keep in the same place. You never want to go. Because for beginners, and even when I was beginning to play the piano, right, I would do that, and then I would come down from a scale. It'd be like, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't end up with my thumb, right? So that's a great way to practice. But again, we're going to start from the top, right? Pinky on C. Pinky on C. Pinky.
Oh, snap.
No, you're good. On the letter C. There you go. Perfect. All right. So we're going to come down. We're going to do 5 and then 3. All right. Let's go. Let's go slowly. Okay. Perfect. All right. Some top. And I want to make sure that you keep all the notes the same length, right? Don't try to go quicker than others, right? And going slow is always going to help you. Even professional pianists go at the slowest pace they can, right? So let's go. Top. Top. So something I'm going to do, right, I want you to see how I'm going to do the following thing, right? Now, you've gotten into the habit of doing, and rightfully so, and I'm not saying it's a bad habit, right? Of doing this, right? For example, like when we're doing the 5 notes. See how I repeat the first 2? Right? Instead of doing that, we're going to do the following. We're going to do it with the scale, right? I'm not going. No, we're not doing that, right? So with the scale, kind of similar, I just did it with a shorter piece of 5 notes, right? We're going to do this. And we're not going to repeat the top note. We're not going to do the following. We're not going to do that. And we're going to do, every time you play the scale, right, you never repeat the notes on the ends. Right? If you're going up and you're coming back down, you don't repeat the one from top. Right? You always just keep going. Right? So and sometimes it can be difficult because you think in your head, well, no, it has to be even. No, it doesn't. So, right? It's not even no, it doesn't. It's just nobody else does it like that, right? Yeah. So it doesn't mean it's wrong, right? But it's just a way of practicing how to come up and down, right, in a seamless way, rather than trying to create symmetry in your head. Nothing about the piano.
Continuous.
It continues. I love that. Yes. So, I want us to start, right? Thumb on C. We're gonna go slowly, okay? Look at your fingers.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's start from the end.
One more time.
We're going up the scale, right? So
scales.
On the fourth note, what thumb? I'm sorry, what finger is there? I just told you. But
this is thumb.
Exactly. So we'll do it again, okay? Let's go. Okay. Okay, keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Okay, it's okay. You know where to end, so I'm gonna go to the top, and you know what finger is gonna be there. Keep going. I want you to come down for this. Come down for this. Keep going. So what is the coolest part about learning this? Learning how to go up, learning how to go down. Because now that you did this, you can do the following. Whatever. You can do that because you know how to go up and down in a seamless way, right? But we're not going to do that today, but we'll probably do it next class, right? So I taught you how to do the right hand. Now we're going to focus on the left hand. Everything that you just learned on the right hand, absolute opposite on the left one, right? So, but not absolute completely, right? Remember, everything's a reflection, right? So this is
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Come back down. This is
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Perfect. All right. So what we're gonna do, right? It's the left hand, right? Left hand. Are you a righty or lefty?
I'm a righty.
All right, same right. So it can be a little comfortable to even be like familiarized with left, but like just get comfortable with the fact that you will be using both. That's point blank and period, right? So with the left, right, I want you right now just writing it down. I want you to absolutely reflect everything else that's here. So notice how when you wrote it down, you went from right to left, right? And when we read music, we read from right. Well, we read from left to right, right? Now I know you're doing it in terms of reflecting, right? And that was a good job. You did it perfectly, right? So something I want you to know, right, is just how you did a group of 3. Do you mind if I write?
No, it's fine.
Okay. You did a group of 3, and then a group of 5. You're gonna have opposite. You're gonna do a group of 5 first, and then a group of 3. Right? So look at my hand, right? two opposite. This is 5, 3, 3, 5, right? So, but something I'm gonna have you do, right? And we won't do it now. I just want you to touch the nose right now, right? Is feeling the emphasis on when you cross, right? Because mind you, we're crossing with the same finger. What finger is that? Exactly. Look. There we go. Right? So I want you to find the letter C with your pinky, left pinky. There you go. Right? And remember, no flat hands, but no bouncy hands either. Right? Just keep them caged right there. And just remember, lift every finger when you go to the next one, okay? Go ahead. Perfect. Okay. Go again. Let's see one more time. Go ahead. One more time. Something I want you to try and do, right, is not completely lift your hand when you're crossing. So. Not go. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it should be like
just a little seamless, right?
When I get
go ahead.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's when I lift.
Yes.
Instead of
absolutely perfect.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Go ahead. Perfect. Marvelous. Marvelous. That was perfect. Okay. So that's exactly how you're gonna do it. Now, just like we did with the right hand, what I want you to do is practice on emphasizing 3 and 1. Remember, those are the two most important fingers, right? So, I want you to watch how I do it, and then you're gonna do it with me. Actually, you're gonna do it alone, and then we're gonna do it together, right? So. You're only to practice the emphasis going up, right? Sorry. So again. So I want you to do that. Just only going up with the left hand. You're doing great. Let's try to play the other notes quietly, and then 3 when you do. Right, try and do that if you can. I see what happened, but it's okay. Keep going. Try to go a little slower. Exactly. One more time. Great. So that's the importance of going slow, but we're gonna do it together, and you're gonna follow my pace, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. Down, right? So we did go up with the left hand. Now we're gonna learn how to go down, right? When we go down, it is just in 5, 3, 5, 3, 5. Exactly. So remember, we never repeat the top note. We don't do that. Just go down. Okay. So let's try and do that. I want you to do it yourself. Let me see. Oh wait. So we're coming from the top, right? What finger do we end with on the top? You can look at your paper. Remember, we read from left to right. What finger do you end with? What? We read from left to right. I'm reading right here. What finger do we end with? Thumb. There you go. So find the letter. Perfect. And then go down from that point. Notice
the
group of 3. Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't teach you this. I'm so sorry. Okay, so crossing, right? It gets a little uncomfortable with the left hand, right? I didn't really have to show you for the right one because it just felt natural, right? But for the last one, right? How are we gonna cross underneath, right? Just bring your thumb under, right? I want you to do that with me, right? Letter C with the thumb. Go ahead. Perfect. All right. Again. Again. Let's go. Perfect. All right. So now I want you to do this. I want you to go up and go down by yourself, right? You're not going to repeat the top note. But I want you to go slower than that. Go slower. You just learned how to come down, right? Go ahead. Perfect. That was perfect. Go again. 1, 2, 3. Again. One more time. All right. I do want to point something out. When you're going up, I see this. This is too flat. Too flat. When you come back down, you do it fine. You cage it in a little bit, right? But it's too flat, right? So just do that scale up and down for me one more time. Keeping that in mind. One more time. Okay, that was perfect. All right. So now you learn how to go up and down, both hands separately, right? I'm not going to teach you how to do them together until next class, right? But that is such an amazing, like the way you did it. You learned a lot of techniques, right? You naturally, like beginners, right? We have this tendency to stay flat or leave a finger behind, right? You learn how to correct those mistakes, right? You learned a lot of things, right? You learned letters, how they go up, what group you're using, right? 3s, then 5s, right? And then 5s, then 3s, right? How to go up, how to go down, how to cross correctly. You learned a lot, right? So that's what I want you to practice on your own time, right? And I'll write down at the end, right, what I want you to practice, right? But learning that was very essential, right? So I want you to start visualizing what that looks like only for the right hand. Probably, I'm not sure if we're going to talk about treble clef today. I'm sorry, bass clef today, but we will talk about treble. Right, so something I want to do, right? I'm gonna print something else out. You can keep practicing both hands. So this is the basics of what I want you to start learning now, right? Again, I'm only going to teach you the right hand right now, right? Which right is what? What other synonyms do you associate with right? Right, sorry.
Treble and high.
Treble, high, right? Okay, perfect. Okay. Got it. Thank you so much. Okay. So, we use recycled paper in my house, so I hope you don't mind. But
I do the same thing.
okay, perfect. So, I should make a distinguishable point here that this is not right there. We're gonna learn on the part of this class a little bit like basic theory, which is theory is just learning how to read the lines.
For the theory.
Well, theory more so becomes difficult when it's a college class that you know how to analyze music. We're not going to analyze music. We're just going to learn how to play it. The fun and best part, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know who came up with analyzing. But I do want to make an emphasis on following. This is a good diagram to teach you how the piano splits itself, but how does the sheet music split itself? Right. So when you're playing piano music, right? And I'm not going to teach you everything about piano music, right? But I'm only going to teach you the right hand side. If you're playing piano music, look at this. You see this like little mustache, right?
Mm-hmm.
I should know.
Brace, like a brace.
I think it's a bracket, something like that. Yeah. So that's what connects, right? Both the left and right hand at the same time. So you'd be playing this at the same time with the left, right? It's not. I'm gonna play this, and then I'm gonna play this, and then I'm gonna no. Both your hands are playing at the same time, right? So that's the part that I want to teach because there are some times, like in certain music, where and we're not going to get to that point yet, but look at this. This is very interesting, right? Sometimes in music, right, mind you, anything that's on these top 5 lines is your right hand. Anything on these bottom 5 lines are your left hand, regardless of the clef. Regardless of the clef. Now in piano, it'd only be treble and bass, but sometimes in music, there's something that happens. What is that? Right? It is this. See how this is bass?
Mm-hmm.
What do you see here?
Treble.
Exactly. But that doesn't mean you now have 2 right hands. No. It means you're gonna play with your left hand on the right hand side. Exactly. With higher notes. Right? So this is why you need to understand this. Right? So you can understand, okay, when I see those 5 lines and maybe like the composer wants to switch it over to treble, it's not that now I grew 2 other right hands. No. Right? It's that, okay, well, I'm gonna take my left hand and move it up. Right? So, let's see. Okay. So, let's see. I want to show you the following, right? There's multiple diagrams I have here, and they all mean the same thing for the most part. Let's see. So, on the piano, the one main thing you should know, right, is the term middle C. Middle C refers to, what do you think it refers to?
The C in the middle.
Perfect. You found middle C on your own, right? You figured it out, right? I was like, I think she's gonna figure this one out. So I was like, middle C, right? Yeah. Now, the piano is not identically symmetrical, but you know, with the other C's that are around it, which one do you actually think is middle? Exactly, right? So anytime you find a piano, right, an 88 key piano, right, that's the largest range. Middle C will be this one. When you have like a MIDI keyboard like that, middle C in this case would be, it's as middle as it gets, right? Like right here. But sometimes there's MIDI pianos that are like 16 keys, right? And you still find technically middle C, but middle C refers to a specific range, right? So when when anyone sings, right, or plays an instrument, there are octaves, right? And it's all kind of based on the piano. Um, what am I going to try to say with this, right? I forgot what C this is. I think it's a C4, but I'm not sure, right? Piano, C octaves. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So I want you to look at this. This is pretty interesting, right? So, it's gonna let me see it. Look at this. So this says right here. Well, I mean, it doesn't say it, but what is it indicating?
The middle C.
Exactly. Right. Now, look at this, right? This is also indicating what?
Middle C.
Middle C. Now, when we're reading treble clef, anything about notes, right? When you're reading notes, right? Everything is a line and a space. Line, space, line, space, line, space, right? This is a line, this is?
Space. Line, space, line, space, line, space,
and so forth. Right? So, when we look at C, right, middle C, right? You see like these little numbers, these little decimals and all that stuff?
Mm-hmm.
That's referring to the hertz, but you don't even know about that, right? But anytime, right, you see middle C, or maybe you're producing music, right, and it says C4, it is referring as if you had an 88 key piano, and this is C4, playing exactly at 261.63 hertz, right? So, but this is what middle C refers to, right? And when you're reading music, right, whenever you see a treble clef, and you see one line, right, one thing you need to know about any clef, right, is there will be 5 lines, 5 stable lines. Whenever you start playing higher notes, there become like 6 lines. I don't know why. When you play really low notes, right, you'll see like another 6 lines, right? So, but those are some stuff you don't need to worry about. Now, what you need to worry about is reading the most basic ones, right? Now, the first note I'm going to teach you is outside of the 5 lines, but that's okay because middle C is the most important note to know, right? So, we look at middle C, right? For treble clef, it is always going to be the first extra line right below it, right?
Treble clef, the first extra line.
Right below it. Now, you don't really see, the only thing bad with this is that they created a line here, and that's like really weird and awkward. But if there shouldn't technically be a line here, it would look just like this, right? Just a little line there, right? That's why I included both, right? But let me write middle C, right? So we just played the C scale, right? Something I want you to get familiar with is, I'm not going to put it on that paper. Yes, I am. Is the following. Right, I want you to do this. Okay, that's our first hour. And I can do it over now.
Oh yeah, my phone says an hour and 1 minute.
Do you want to take a break, or are you feeling good? I'm feeling fine myself. But
yeah, I want to continue.
You want to continue? Okay, perfect. So, I want you to do the following, right? I told you, oh, good Lord. Okay. I told you to get comfortable with the weight of your fingers. Be confident with the weight. Why did I say that? Because what we're going to do now is, and you can look down to look at your fingers, that's fine. But I want you to try your best to do this. You're playing, but you're also reading. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. C, D, A, G, F, E, D, C. Right? And just looking at the paper. You don't have to do it perfectly. You can keep up. You can be like C, D, E, F. Okay, like that's fine, right? But I want you to get comfortable with doing that, right? Just so you know, number one, what are the letters? What are you playing with your fingers? Number two, what are the letters right in front of you? So that number three, we can eventually play music, right? And that's what we're doing right now for treble. And we're going to do bass, and then eventually when it gets good enough, right, you practice well enough, and I see it, we will try to do a song, right? So I want you to focus on this section, right? So I want you to find C with your right hand, right? I understand. Actually, I want you to find C, middle C, and play middle C from middle C. And come over here because I don't want you to get used to leaning when playing the piano. There you go. Perfect. Save your fingers. Again. Perfect. Fine. Perfect. Okay, let's keep it there. Right. So, the next thing I want you to like identify, and if we can move over a little bit, is and this is like this will eventually be part of your homework, right? But right now, just presently, I want you to like try and see some observations, right? And these are the observations that I make, and these are the ways like I remember what notes are what notes right before the treble clef, right? Something. Wait, actually, hold on. Okay. I will. Let me draw this out myself, right? Again, every group of lines is how many lines? How many lines? Can you count these?
Four. That's five.
5 lines, right? So when we're reading bass clef, how many lines is it?
5.
And?
5.
Exactly. So this would make it?
10.
Exactly. So, when we are reading treble clef, right? And this is something I'm going to have you do, right? The easiest way to remember these notes are with acronyms, right? So, let's see. The way I remember treble clef, it's like this: face, F-A-C-E, and this is in the spaces, right? So with the lines, I never really had an acronym for that. I think there is some online, but I don't have any.
Face only.
Yeah. So I don't have an acronym for the lines, but it's kind of just like, okay, we'll fill in the blanks. What comes after the letter F?
G.
And then after A?
B.
Then after C?
D.
And then so forth, right? So I will create those spaces just so you can see what that looks like. So, and then what is before the letter F?
E.
E, right? After the letter F, we said
G.
okay. Then between A and C,
B.
okay. And then C to E,
D.
okay. And afterwards,
F.
F, exactly, right? Oh, wait. Every good boy, there's something like that. Every good boy does fine. There you go. I was like,
I have to remember from like early,
right,
younger.
Right, exactly. Okay. So see, that was like other people use that in my class, but I just knew the lines, right? So, lines, right? For spaces, we know it is face, right? For lines, we know it's E, G, B, D, F. Every good boy does fine, right? It's probably hard to read, but I think you'll understand, right? Yes. Yeah. Okay. So every good boy does fine, right? That's how we remember these notes, right? And that applies. I mean, that applies really for the main 5 lines and 4 spaces. There's 5 lines, there's 4 spaces, right? Yes. So once you start going up from that point, no, there are no acronyms, but you will know the order, right? This is the first thing I did with you today, right? What comes after the letter G?
H.
Exactly. No H. No nothing, right? So, but for the most part, right? Like this is why, like, okay, some of these notes are much lower, right? But I do want you to focus the ones between the lines. I'll probably print out something else because there are a lot of low notes here. But the only low note that has a line, excuse me, outside of the main 5 is C, middle C, right? So that's all I want you to focus on, right? So I want you again, play the scale, right? Up
please.
and down.
Oh, just regular?
Just right. Almost done here. C, E, C, E. If you want to practice with your left hand, that's good too. Whatever. Okay, I'm almost done. I'm writing it.
Okay.
So, next part, right? So, you gotta feel for the treble clef, right? I think you're confident well enough, right, to go up and down, right? You feel the weight, right? You know not to go flat, cage, right? Not to stay, but move on, right? And not leave a finger down, right? Now I give you a basis, right, of how to read the treble clef, right? Actually, I was gonna go to bass, but I think treble clef is too fresh still. So let's try and do this. Let's see. Let me print out another sheet. So practice with your left hand for now. Right? Practice doing the scale with your left hand. Let's continue, right? So, I had you read the treble clef with your right hand as you play, right? Now I want you to do the following. Try your best to do this, right? First I'm gonna not have you have any reference. I want you to have any reference. If it proves itself to be a little too difficult, I will have you use the reference. And it's not like, oh my god, if you use the reference, you failed. No, you didn't fail, right?
It's just to see if I know these notes.
Right. So, these are space notes as it suggests. These are line notes, and these are both space and line. So let's try to do, well actually let's try and do this. Question number 1, can you recognize this note or no?
F. Wait, no.
D. No. Okay. E. It is E. Okay. How about this one?
C. C?
Yes. Okay. How about this one? You were just on C.
Oh. B.
Okay. How about this one?
A.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
I guess.
Well, you see, look. You know what's so good about that is because that's why I made you do this, right? You look at the note. You know that when you get to this top part, it's that one, and that's the second space before the top one, right? And that's good. That's good. That's really good, right? So what I want you to do right now is practice this, right? I want you to, and this will probably be very easy, right? I want you to name this note and then go down to this one, then down to this one, then down to this one, down to this one. Why do I say it's easy? Because these are just, no, they're just apart by one space. So, you know, but work on it. Let's see what you do. What do you think it is? No, but it's okay. Go ahead, try again. I think you got it, right? And I just think you got it. No references for now. Perfect. Okay, now go to the bottom one. Absolutely. There you go. Mm-hmm. What word are you about to spell out? There you go.
This E is on the line and this E is.
Not always. What? Did you write E here?
No, this is an F.
Oh, okay. So, ah, bueno. Okay, well, that's a good observation you made right now, right? When you reach, for example, when you say face again, face will also now be in a different space, right? So let's use this as an example, right? Look at this. So this is. I like that you made that observation, right? And that's good to make right now. You shouldn't think that because you saw one note on a space, now it'll always be on a space. That's not true, right? So this is F, right?
Yeah.
This is also F. This F is on a what?
Space.
And this F is on a what?
Line.
Right? So look at this, right? Look at this C right here. A C. It's on a
Line.
and this C is on a
Space.
and this C is on a
Line.
What pattern do you observe with that one?
Line, space, line.
Uh-huh. Exactly. So what point am I trying to make with that, right? Every time you see a note here, the next same exact note will be on the opposite of that. And then so forth. There's a line, space, line, we can keep going. Space, line, space, space. At that point you won't be able to hear that note. But you know, that is a good point and good observation you made, right? But you should never confuse that. Okay, just because I saw it in this line here, it's gotta be a line up there, right? So anyway, keep going.
Into it repeats. Or no.
Almost. Mm-hmm. So something that's good with this.
This is E.
Yes, that is. Before you continue, I want to show you this, right? Why am I making you go up and down, up and down? Because the assignment basically is just do the space and then do the notes. No, I want you to do up and down. Why? Because I noticed that these are just a little space apart. And what I'm trying to work your skill mentally is understanding. Like, I want you to quickly see, okay, this is on a space, and this is right below. This is the first line. This is the first line of the five set, 5-line set, right? This is the first line. It's on a line. But right after it, what's the letter right after E? Oh, it's F, right? Okay, great. This is the second space, and this says A. And this is, like, it's above the second line. This is on the second line. It says A, so what's the letter before A? It's G, right? This is how I read notes, right? And I want to work that skill with you. I want you to go up and down, up and down. Oh my God, okay, well, I know that one is, right? This is right above it. It's that easy, right? So, B, right? Okay, well, this is on the third line, but this one's actually above the third line. So what's the letter after B?
C.
Exactly. This is on the fourth line. It says letter D. This is above the fourth line. So this is letter
E.
Exactly. This is the letter F, right? Well, this one you gotta work it out, you know. But the best way to do it, right? And the good thing about having these repeated notes is, okay, well, oh my God, there's a note right here, and it's the same as that one. Oh, it's F. Okay, great. Right? And so forth, right? So just keep working at it and go to the end with that, right? And that's the skill with the work, right?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm.
Oh, no. That's a D.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay. Perfect. You did that perfectly. But you saw how you did it so much more quicker now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I saw you going. I was like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. Okay. That was amazing. That was really really good, right? And so that's the same worksheet I'm gonna give you, and I want you to work that out, right? But that's like look, I'll tell you this. That's why musicians are good at math, right? Because they think, okay, plus one, plus two, minus two, right? They're adding the lines, bringing them down, moving it up, right? So that's the good skill about this, right? It's working like okay, right? And eventually, right, when you play much more advanced music, right, you'll play chords. And you'll have to see these notes out in one and just like, okay, I understand. Right, they're all spaces, or maybe they're not spaces. Maybe it's like a I don't know inversion. That's minor, right? But it's about knowing how to move your eyes, and eventually, it's not just moving your eyes, but it's moving your hands at the same time. It's doing a bunch of things. Like you're gonna be an octopus. So, but okay, that was such a great exercise. Now I want you to do the same here. Just go for it. At this point, it's not going up and down, no references, right? If you want, you can look back up here. There's no shame in like, oh my god, well, I think there's one like nearby, but I'm more like, no. Look at it. Get used to it. Repeat it in your eyes or in your vision, right? So just do this part, and then we'll move on from that. Let me see what other thing.
Just this one?
All of it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna check it. I'm gonna find the next exercise.
By going down and up and down.
No,
like that?
just straight
Across?
left to right, like
Okay.
if you're reading it.
Okay. Oh. Hmm.
Use back very quickly, okay?
Okay. See? Yeah, that's A. B. Yeah. See.
If you use the bathroom, you don't need to, okay? If you need to use the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
look like just in the middle of the doing it. Okay. Keep going. And that's not me telling you if anything's right or wrong. I just wanted to see the progress. So I'll let you know at the end whether everything was right.
Okay. from.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. Just working on your homework. So, alright, perfect. Let me double check. So, first mistake that I did see, right, was just this one, right? You wrote F for the top line here, and then you wrote F again. They're right next to each other, right? So, if this is F, what letter is this? It's right below it. What's the letter right before F?
E.
There you go. So E. Right, that's fine, right? For the most part, everything else I saw was right, but let's keep going, right? This is E, correct? C, D, G, F, D, F, A, B, E, E, correct? C, G, D, F, 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 D, A, F, G, B, E, C, E, F, E, D, A, F, G, E. Perfect. Perfect. This got one wrong. Okay. It's the simple things like that, right? You know, just saying, okay, well, it's right next to each other, and it's right below it. So it's, you know, below means backwards, which means -1, which means it's gotta be E. You know? Perfect, right? So, just to give you a preview, I'm not gonna make you do this now, right? I made you do treble clef. I want to try and see if we can do bass clef really quickly, and then I'm gonna give you your homework, which is the same exact thing, right? But just repeating it, and then some other little things. This is what I do for my other student, right? Is just have the. I know it says it at the top is treble clef, but I want you to write down what is the clef, right? And then also the associations, right, or the relation, right? This treble clef is related with what hand?
Right.
And then with what octaves? High. Exactly. And same thing with bass, right? What hand?
Left.
And then?
Low.
Exactly. So I want you, at the beginning of the assignment, I want you to associate, label, every time you do a line, label it, right? And then every time you do a line, label it. What clef is this? Treble. Treble. I want you to repeat. Repetition is what makes you remember these things, right? And then when you're done with everything, you, again, remind yourself, okay, this is treble clef. This is my
right hand.
And then
high octave.
And then same thing here. Left hand, low octaves, right? So, but that's just the homework, but, let's see. Let's get you on bass clef, right? I know this might be like, oh well, you don't play the piano now, but this is very, very important, right? And this is the most basic thing. Once you learn how to do this, right, you will be playing the piano a lot more often. But it comes down to the boring work when it comes like this, right? So, let's see. This is amazing, right? Did this very well. Okay. So let me just explain the base stuff. It's a little dark in here. This light doesn't work. Let me see if I want lights up. Okay. So, now we're going to work with bass clef, right? Bass clef reads a little differently, right? Has different acronyms, right? Fortunately enough, for treble, right? For treble, you have face. It's very simple, just face. Here, you actually have to have a little more extended, right? So, similar, right, to the treble clef lines. For lines, you have good boys do fine always. Right, for the space, you have all cows eat grass, right? Excuse me. Every time I was doing music theory, I just read it as ASEG, but I don't know, it pronounced correctly in my mind. But that is a way to refer to it, right? And then if we look at this chart right here, right? Mind you, C is very low here, and then the closest C is like right in the middle, right? So I don't want you to work on bass clef like, oh my god, I either have to start at the lowest end or the middle of it. No, like the C major scale was something I taught you for practice on the piano, right? When you're learning how to identify notes, don't think about it, oh, the major scale. No. Just think about the notes, right? So, let's see. What I want you to do, right? Okay, I know I did just say what I said, but I will have you do this. I want you to observe something, right? Look at this. This is the first line above this space, like the group of 5, and it has what in between that note? What does it have?
A line.
A line, right? And notice this, right? The first note outside of this 5 group has a
Line.
Exactly. Hence,
that's why, like, when I was writing, it would be like, if it was right there in the space line, it was the same note.
say it one more time.
Like when I was filling out the paper, and one of them was on the line and one of them was on the space, but it had like the stick this way and then the stick that way, it would be the same note.
Try and show me it, and then maybe I can understand. It's right here. I think. Go ahead, show me.
Yeah.
Not exactly, right? That's just the pattern I showed you about this, right? Again, if it's space here, it'll be lying there and whatnot. What I'm trying to show you with this, right, is when I showed you like sheet music right here, right? I told you that these little mustache brings it together, right? So when I'm showing you like this paper, for example, this is why I don't like this diagram too well, right? But pretend this treble clef was movable underneath over here. Anything that is above this 5 group will be C. Anything that is below this group of 5 will be C as well. That is what connects the clefs. That's the point I'm trying to make, right? So, anyway, we move forward, right? So, treble and bass clef, right? Let us go to bass clef. Again, for me, ASEG was the easiest way to remember it. So I actually want you to use a reference when, actually no, the first thing I wanted you to do was this. Look at these notes, right? And I want you to grab your left hand, start on letter C. Sorry, and then, also that's wrong, but sorry, I turned off the piano. So when you start with your left hand, you are playing, what finger plays first?
Thumb.
No.
Oh, the 5.
I'm telling you to start on letter C. So if 5 plays first, then there we go. Go ahead. I want you to read right here. Read right there. I'm gonna get out of the light so you can see it. Okay. Mhm. Okay. Just go a little harder. Go ahead. It's okay. Perfect. Okay. So we move forward, right? So the next thing I want you to do, right, is you play the piano while looking at the bass clef, right? You got a brief idea of what those notes look like, right? I do want you to reference because I actually made you practice the treble clef a little bit more, but we are running out of time. So use this as a reference, right, when you do these notes, right? The first thing I actually want you to do, I don't actually want you to go up and down. Actually, no, I will make you go up and down. Go up and down, right? So go up and down between these notes and let's see how you work that out, right? And you can use the reference right in front.
Okay.
Use the reference right here for the first note, right? It's gonna help you out. Even if you don't want to look here every single time, that's fine. For the first note, it's gonna help you out a lot. No. We're in bass clef. Okay. So try to find the note on the first space. Where is that? Okay. There you go. Perfect. Right. Then go down. Right here. Go. And what's good about this work that you're doing here is because, I mean, you can continue looking here, but think to yourself, okay, what's the note right before A? Well, G, G. Exactly. It helps you work that out. Mm-hmm. Let me know when you're done.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Let's double check. Let's see. Pause for a second. AG. I'm gonna look first here. AG. C E A E C C G A E. Perfect. Okay. E F D G A E D G F D. Perfect. Looks great. Right. So you get the point of this exercise, right?
Yes.
And yeah, you're doing it pretty well, right? We don't really have time, right, to do this next part, right? And that's totally fine, right? I'm not gonna like make you do it twice because I'm already giving it to you for homework, right? But these are good notes to have. You have here, and then I'm gonna give you the homework assignment, and then we'll look at like the piano and see what we can do in terms of getting you to play and practice. But same thing with treble. I mean, this is treble, right? Beginning of the assignment, right? What hand is associated with, what octave, right? Every time you do a line, right? What clef this is, right? I want you to remember that, I want you to be part of your soul, right? And then when you're done, same thing, right? Same thing here, right? Hand, octaves, label the clef, the notes, right? And hand and octaves again, right? If you need to use this, use it, right? If you need to use this, remember, all cows eat grass. And you know what's great about this assignment, right? What you just did right now, right? I like how they do it, right? First they let you do like, this is all cows eat grass, good boys do fine honors, right? And same thing with treble clef. I actually don't know that paper is now. But that is what you're gonna do, right? I just want you to practice this. That's all, right? And then I have, this is just the notes, right, of what your actual homework is, right? So you know what it is here because you have the papers here, but these are the notes of what you're technically doing, right? You're doing a lot, right? So, but for theory, right? Theory, this is theory, right? Writing down, right? You're naming the space notes, naming the line notes, and then you're naming both space and line notes. And you're also labeling the clef, adding their relations, right? Same thing with treble, I just repeated it, right? Practice. Right? You're gonna practice a C major scale. It doesn't matter, right? And your piano, right? You won't know what middle C is, which is fine, right? It doesn't matter where middle C is. That's not what matters. What matters is I want you to do, right? And this is when you use the notes that you wrote at the beginning, right? What you will do, right? You're gonna refer back to this, these notes. Oh, treble, that's right. Okay, right. I'm gonna start with the first three. 1, 2, 3. Oh, great. I'm gonna cross over. Right? And then you come back down. And you remember you're not gonna repeat the top note, right? And then same thing with this, right? You're gonna start with the P key, right? This big thing to remember, right? And I just want you to get used to that, right? And remember, feel weight on these two fingers, right? Because eventually, like, and there will be a point, like, I'll probably do it next class, right? Honestly, like, I think you will have the hang of it. I'm gonna have you close your eyes and just do it, right? Like, it should be like it's like, you'll do it, right? And then your left hand, oh, anyway, you'll feel it, right? And you're gonna do those, and you're gonna have a good time, right? Anyway, so, this will be your homework, right? It's all listed there. You have pretty good notes, right? And then let's just see what we can do with your MIDI piano and see how we can work that out. Okay. All good? What did you think?
I thought it was pretty good. I noticed I flow better with my left hand than my right.
Yeah? That's interesting. Alright. Let's see what we can do here. I'm surprised my phone's still recording. Because I got rid of all that stuff, so I have a little more space. Yeah. Usually this stuff's up at like 45 minutes. It's almost like 2 hours. Really? There we go. Okay, let's see. we should leave the MIDI in and MIDI out. So I'm not gonna connect them. Let's do
I just want to hear something come out of there.
right, I got you.
Lights. More lights.
Right. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. There we go.
Wait, so you just went on a website?
Yeah, that's what. So I'll send you this direct link, right? Recursive arts. I used to use this like in the theory labs a lot. So you'll be able to do it. You'll do the same thing with your left hand. So notice, right? You see how echoey it is? It's very echoey, right? The reason it's very echoey is because it has a sustain pedal, right? So you see this light is on, take it off, right? And then now it's very well, not echoey, I forgot how you call that, but right. If you're feeling fun,
solid.
Yeah, exactly. If you're feeling fun, you can add the sustain, but it also could sound a little messy, right? So right, same thing with your left. So you shouldn't have to add the MIDI in and out, but I don't have like the computer that you're using, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing, and I don't really like Mac in terms of showing this, but is it a Windows?
Yeah, my mom's laptop is a Windows.
Okay. In Windows, because I also have like a Windows laptop, you know the corner, right, where it says the Wi-Fi, the battery, and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Where it says like the volume, there'll be like an arrow to the side. Click on that and make sure it says the name of the computer, not like any other external device. Or sometimes like Windows, like mine, it says like Dolby Audio, and I'm like, I don't use Dolby Audio, I use the speakers of the computer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So make sure it says the speakers of your computer. Right?
It's a laptop my mom has.
Right.
Okay.
Well, no, I understand. Like my laptop, it has like other audio programs, so I don't know why. Like sometimes it'll automate like that, but but yeah, it should work. I'm gonna send you this link. I'm actually just right now.
Yes, that would make me sweaty. Cause it was just like seeing it light up with no sound. I was just like frustrated.
Right.
And I was on just Duolingo, on Duolingo, I would put like my fingers on the screen, and then when I'm not playing it and it's just showing notes, I would just pretend like this.
Right. No, I get you. Well, now you know how to do it. So let us let me get WhatsApp here.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.